Hey guys, we're back with a quick video, and I wanted to show you this thing that I picked up. It was mentioned in the previous video of flipping, but this is not a flip video. This is just me checking out this unboxing. There's not much to unbox, but a used but new appearing to be power supply, Corsair RM850x. I bought this for $20, and the original idea was to immediately flip it, sell it for more. I think the problem is there's not a lot of these online. I've seen them on eBay for $90 shipped, refurbished. I think the street price on this would probably be about 60, 70 on a good day. So I just want to check this out because this applies to my personal system. And the question for you watching is, what would you do? And I'm going to mention my personal setup. So I bought it to sell. I posted it. I haven't posted it everywhere. I only posted it on one place. And then I was thinking, wait, I've always wanted a modular power supply. Why don't I just keep it? 20 bucks. Then I don't have to buy one ever. So let's take a look at it. And it seems to be pretty clean. The thing that confuses me is when you look up RM850x, I keep getting that wrong, RM850x. Apparently there's two versions. So it came out a long time ago, and it had a regular power supply kind of grill thing. And then it came out in 2021, as far as I can tell, and it has this new design, and it has this fan which is larger and specially designed, they said, to be quiet. And it's nice. The thing is, I don't need an 850 watt power supply for my purpose. What I want, my entire system uses Be Quiet parts. What I really want is a Be Quiet power supply just to match. But this is pretty nice. It would be nice to have this option. So to recap on what I have currently, I have a Thermaltake 430 watt, and it is in this, can't really see it. It's in this, the Dell Optiplex. It's not in there right now because I'm using it in another system. So I usually have a Thermaltake 430 watt here, and this is my modified Dell Optiplex system. And I'm keeping the case. I took it all apart because the board died, and so I'm replacing that, but I want to keep the case. So my original plan for the rebuild was to use all Dell parts. What that means is upgraded parts from other Dells. For example, a 1080 from a Dell, the OEM version, or a 2060 from a Dell, and then a Dell power supply, just to be a little bit funny, you know, like all the Dell parts. So I have, this is a Dell 750 watt power supply, which I could use in here, but look at this. The ridiculous amount of cables. So what I did was, on the Thermaltake that I have for this, it was kind of like this, and I cut off all the wires that I didn't use. So I'll link you to that video where I did that. So when it was originally configured, it only had the motherboard cables, the SATA cables, 2, and then the GPU cable. There was nothing else. I cut everything off. So it was very clean, just that's it. And that power supply now can only be used in a Dell because they specifically made it the length of what it needed to be. And it was very nice. My problem with the Thermaltake power supply is the fan is very noisy. Even though I bought it brand new. It's got this kind of like coil whine noise, and it's just always going. It's not loud, but I can hear it. And that's why because all of my fans are Be Quiet fans, naturally I wanted a Be Quiet power supply, but they're very expensive. So my question for you is, by the way, the Thermaltake power supply, I paid $34 brand new with free shipping. Should I sell this? Should I use it? Should I modify the Dell 750 watt and keep it Dell friendly? The other thing is the cables that came with this are ugly. I don't know why, but all the other videos that I've seen with the RM850X have braided at least, you know, the covering. So I don't know why there's no covering on here. Also, it's very long. So there's two things here. Number one, if I was to use this power supply, I would probably never have to buy another power supply for myself. No matter what I have, system upgrades, if I change the case, this would be like the last power supply I would have for years because of the modularity, and it's fairly new. The other thing is, I know for a fact that if I use this, I'm gonna want custom cables because this looks terrible. Even though in the Dell you can't see the cables, this is just way too long. It only needs to be like this long right here. So I would eventually want to have custom cables made that would exactly fit the Dell, which is going to raise the cost of it. I already know that's going to be true. I've seen conflicting information about this because there are different versions of it. Some of them said that this newer one will actually stop the fan when it's not using much power, and that for me would be ideal. I want everything to be as quiet as possible. So, question for you is, what would you do? I have $33 invested in the Thermaltake. I have $20 invested into this. I can probably get $60. If I sold the Thermaltake and this one, I could probably afford to Be Quiet, which might be overkill for a Dell old computer. Or I can modify this one, get rid of all these wires, put a nice quiet fan in here, and then I have a 750 watt, and this one was free. So you tell me. This is not really educational. I'm kind of just asking the crowd what you think you would do in this situation. And no, I'm not buying a new case because this one works just fine. And I like my Dell Optiplex. Let's see if this even fits in here. This might not even fit in the case. I forgot about that. The Thermaltake actually never fit correctly. It kind of was in there, but at somewhat of a little angle. It's not really made to fit in this. I think think it's too big. Yeah, I didn't realize these are larger. There's got to be a way to make this fit, because I've seen other people have big power supplies in their Dells. Well, that's not good. Let's try this one. Let's see which way this goes. I remember I struggled to get the Thermaltake in there. Okay, well, guess we can't test fit. I know there's a way to get it in there. I've seen people do it. We'll just wrap up this video. So what would you take? The Thermaltake 430, which I'm happy with. If I keep the Thermaltake, I think I'm just gonna take the fan out and put something else in there that's quieter, but I think I'm still gonna hear the coil whine from it. Hopefully, I'll see if there's a way to... I don't really want to modify the case if I'm not gonna keep this. Well, maybe I'm not gonna keep it. If anybody wants to buy an RM850X, message me. Until then, we'll keep hunting for the perfect power supply. We'll see you next time.